It's fall time in northwestern Ohio. Let's go into the shop. A little windy out here today. Wanted to show you, before I reassemble all this, what the inside of that rear end looks like, being all cleaned out. Oop. Got in there and cleaned it. It's got all that old grease out that was rusty. You know, years. I'm sure that was probably original. But yeah, I went down the tube. You can see there's a little bit of gunk still left in there, but I ran a rag down through that in both sides a few times and cleaned out the majority of it. But here it is, ready to be put back in. I purchased some, it's called 160 weight oil from the filling station. And these are all the internal parts that need to go back together, so I think I'm going to start reassembling that, get that in place. This is my axle shaft, and this bearing, it's hard to see, there's a line right somewhere in there, you can't even really feel it. But anyway, this top bearing here is what's in these boxes. I tried to get it off with a bearing separator, it didn't work. So let's go into the machine shop. I'm going to have him pull those off and press these on. I got both axles. And then I'm going to have him ream out these bushings that I put in the spindles to fit my pins, my king pins. They say that's the way to do it. I honed out each one of these holes enough that I could squeeze that bearing in there. I had to press it in and pound it in pretty good. But anyway, I don't have a setup where I can run I can't think of the name of it. I bought one, but it just didn't work. A reamer. And but I'm going to have this machine shop, they can ream that out to fit that pin, which I think is just about 3/4 of an inch. So we'll get those fitted. And this is my saddle that I have started working on. You can see my shim that I put in there. But yeah, I was surprised. I have really ground a lot of that off because this is the thickness of that shim when it starts. See that? And then you can look at it there. I'm taking about half of that off. So I was really surprised. It worked well. I mean, I was able to braze it into place so it doesn't move. It doesn't need a whole lot. And like it was suggested, I'm going to get some of that red and tacky grease and squirt these things down with. But yeah, I bolted it all together, and when I did, it was solid. It wouldn't move. So that's when I started doing some grinding, and we got her loosened up somewhat, but I won't know for sure until I get the other shim brazed in there. That's kind of what I want to do today. Let's get that done after I get this installed. Got everything lubed up. I'm going to put some of that oil in here, get that pinion gear up there lubed up real good. And of course these saddles, everything, you put that oil in there prior to assembling it, then hopefully it'll stick in there. And obviously it takes 4.5 pints of that oil, which is a little over 2 quarts. 4 pints, or 2 pints for a quart, so 2 quarts and a pint maybe, I don't know, or half a pint. We'll fill that in, but I can't do that until I get this cover on. And I goofed up and ordered the wrong gasket, so I've got that coming, the right one. And then I'm going to put in these bearings in the end of the axle shafts, which I have received one of them. It's there in the package, and this is the new one, and this is the old one. So, and these are pitted, these old ones, and like I said, they've probably been in there who knows how long. But anyway, these are the replacements, and so we're going to get those. I'm going to put some assembly lube all over these rather than this oil. I'll probably put some oil too, but yeah, these little things go in first like that. But I really don't have any method of pushing that in, so I'm going to just take my time and kind of keep tapping around it. I've done that before. You just got to be careful, and I'll probably put a washer in here that's pretty big and then hit on that washer on the edge rather than tapping on the bearing itself. But you know, get a decent sized punch to put it in with so that you're not you know, going to damage this bearing at all. But anyway, the other one's coming. It's lost in the mail somewhere, and so once that's in, I can get both of those in and then get the axle shafts fixed, and we'll get her back together. So that's where we're at. Just thought I'd give you a little update on what's cooking. Thanks for watching.